Hi guys, welcome back. This is Erin from Paint Those Piggies. Millie is rubbing on the tripod right now. Today I have a very exciting video. I have my very first update for Project Polish, and I have to say I have been really excited doing Project Polish, which is where you use up polishes in your collection. If you haven't seen my intro to Project Polish, I will link it in the description box, but I started with 8 polishes and I've had a lot of different changes. It's been about almost 4 weeks, but it's a little bit less. So let's get right into it because I have a ton of progress to update you guys on. So I have my little nail wheel here and I'm just going to start by color. So the very first one is this peachy color right here, and that one is OPI's A Great Opportunity. This one I didn't get a lot of use out of. I only wore it once. So you can see in the little update right here, I just have a tiny bit of progress. Even though these are mini bottles, I didn't use it that much. So that just has one use, but not too much progress on that guy right there. The next polish I have is this red one right here, and that is Formula X Flashy. That is a little bit of a bigger bottle, and I used it a bunch and I feel like the level did not move whatsoever. So I used it a bunch in January at the beginning of the month. It still is January and it's hard to see, but the level is like non-existent. So that is my update on that. I used it a bunch at the beginning of the month and then pretty much didn't use it at all. So not very much progress, but I feel like this is going to be a good polish for February. We're not really starting off on a good note, but this one is Zoya's Layel. This one I feel like I've kind of just hit like a wall with. I only used it in nail art and pretty much nothing else, although I did use it enough to make a little line on the bottle. Previously it didn't have any use in it, but this one's probably the biggest bottle of all the mini bottles. But this one I don't know, I don't really have any creativity when it comes to it, so I don't really know what to use this for. I don't really want to wear it on its own, and I haven't, if you've been seeing Weekly Manis, it hasn't shown up in Weekly Manis, but I don't know. If you guys have any like good ideas for what to use this for, let me know, but I don't know, this just isn't speaking to me right now. Next up is this green guy here on the swatch wheel, this dark green with gold shimmer, and this is OPI's Live and Let Die. Again, they're all mini bottles, so I don't need to keep saying that, but this one I believe I used twice, and it doesn't look like a lot of use, but I started up here and now I'm a little bit further down. I don't know why these mini OPIs are so hard for me to use. It looks like I didn't use anything. I used this 2 different times and it looks like I didn't use it at all, but I did. I don't know why this tiny little bottle has no use in it after 2 manicures, but for some reason these mini OPIs are giving me a lot of trouble. The Essies look like they have so much more use than these mini OPIs for some reason, but these OPIs are giving me a lot more grief than they should be. But let's get into the better progress. Next up is one I am very, very proud of. I kind of focused on this one. During the winter, I really love blues, and especially when we get kind of into the second half of winter, like January, February, there's like quite a few more months of winter left here. I like kind of icy blues, and so this one really called to me. And this one on the swatch wheel is China Glaze for Audrey right here. The formula in my mini bottle was really terrible, which is why I put it in here. And I am happy to say that I used this entire mini bottle up. Yes. You can see that I started off with just a single manicure out of this bottle, and I did use this entire bottle up, so I am very proud of that. I actually used this a ton of times. I was really shocked with how many manicures I got out of this. I used it on my toes twice. I used it at least like 5, 6, 7 different times, plus nail art. It showed up in a lot of different manicures, and I used it a bunch of different ways to try and, one, not get sick of it, but also to show it in weekly mani so that you guys did get sick of it. But once it reached about the halfway point, I did have to dump it onto a different surface and then paint it on my nails using it from that different surface, which I'm finding I'm having to do with other polishes in this project as well, but I don't really mind it as much as long as I'm able to finish up the entire bottle. But I am really happy to report that this one is completely gone. So that is the first one gone, and this was the actual first one gone in this project polish. Oh, I'm getting clawed by Millie down here. Next up is an Essie polish. This is this dark red right here, Essie's Limited Addiction, and I'm actually surprised at how much progress is on this polish. And this is a very deep kind of like almost maroon red, and I started out by using this one in my Christmas nails, which I did like pink and red candy canes, and it went through a lot of polish using it in nail art, and ever since then I've been trying to see how much I can use it up. So I started out pretty much near the top. This again is a mini bottle, and now I am down to here. I did use it on Monday for some polka dots, but I'm now under the just about the halfway point in this bottle. But I feel like the Essies really show the use in the project polishes, but I feel really good about this one. I feel like especially with February I'm going to be able to go through the reds pretty well, so I feel like this one's going to be used up in February. So that one is Essie's Limited Addiction. Next up we have another Essie Mini. This one is next on the swatch wheel, and this is Essie's Merino Cool right here. And I do plan on getting a full-size bottle of this one. I also did, by the way, pick up a full-size bottle of China Glaze for Audrey because once it ran out I was really sad it was gone, which is kind of not the point of project polish, but I really love the color, so I ended up buying a full-size bottle. But Essie's Merino Cool is next. Not a ton of progress on this one. I did use it a few times, but I didn't really wear it as much for a full manicure. I think I only wore it once as a full manicure and then used it in nail art, but not terrible progress. But hopefully this one can be done by February or March. Next up is one that I pulled in after I was, oh, I'm getting tapped. Next up is one that I pulled in kind of on the brink of finishing China Glaze for Audrey. I kind of want to keep it at 8 polishes in this, kind of like, I don't know, just I like it the number 8. It's my favorite number, so I wanted to keep the number kind of steadily around 8. So once I was on the verge of finishing for Audrey, I pulled this one in and I ended up finishing it. So the one I am talking about is OPI Suzi and the 7 Dusseldorfs. I also will throw in a swatch, but here it is on the swatch wheel. It is a metallic warm purple right here. And this one was pretty much full. I don't know if I have a full-size bottle. I know I used to, but I can't be sure if I decluttered it or not. But here is where I was when I started it in this project, and for some reason I just kept reaching for it. So here was my mark, and then you can see that this bottle is empty. There is just the tiniest bit at the bottom, but that's not enough to do any manicures with. So that one I started and then finished within the kind of 3 to 4 week time span of this first update. Next up, I wanted to pull in another like bluish green color because that's really what I've been gravitating towards, especially with winter right now. So these actually look very similar on the swatch wheel, but this one is one I have a full-size bottle of already. So one I pulled in again to replace the 2 I used up is Ciate's Pepperminty. Here it is on the swatch wheel right here. It looks very similar to For Audrey, but I wanted a similar kind of minty winter tone. So here it is. where I started off in the project, and I used it only for one manicure, but it did significantly go down. I've had this mini bottle for a couple of years now, and it is quite thick. It was hard to use in a manicure, and I did have to thin it a couple of times while I used it. So I'm gonna try to get through this one pretty quickly, and I think I will. I think a couple manicures and it should be done, but that is one I did throw in there as a replacement. So that is Ciate's Pepperminty. Next up is one that has been there from the start, but I actually just kept painting over it on the swatch wheel because it is so light that it looks like the swatch wheel. So it was somewhere over here, but I just kept painting over it with other polishes, which was my fault. But this is Essie's Find Me an Oasis. It was one of the original 8, but it was my fault for that I kept painting over it. And I'm very happy with the progress on this one. This one started out pretty much full. The formula is pretty bad on this one, but I started out pretty much at the top and I'm a little bit under halfway now. I have fallen in love with this polish, not necessarily because the formula is great, which it isn't, but because it is like the softest pastel baby blue, and for some reason, I love wearing baby blue polishes on my nails. So I've been wearing this one quite a bit, and I feel like it just fits the season right now. So I've been wearing this a lot. I feel like this is going to be done sometime in February by the next update. Well, I think it is at least, but I really have fallen in love with this color. When this is done, I won't pick up another bottle or a full-size bottle of it just because the formula isn't good, but I really, really like this pale shade of blue. So that is Essie's Find Me an Oasis, and I feel like that's pretty good progress for me on this one. And then last up is another one I threw in as a replacement, and I also accidentally or gladly ended up finishing it. So this one is OPI's Petal Faster Suzi. This one ended up showing up in Weekly Manis as well. Here is it on the swatch wheel. It is a baby pink with silver shimmer in it, and I will throw in a swatch as well. So here is my little baby OPI. I feel like some of them like just go so slowly, and other ones are just like, oh, 2 manicures and it was done, which is what happened with this one. It was halfway used up, but seriously, like 2 manicures and it was completely done. So here is what my bottle looked like. It was halfway down the bottle, and then 2 manicures and this baby is gone. So I did use this like twice in 1 week, and it's gone. So that was my replacement polish, but I feel like I'm at 8 already. Yes, I'm at 8 polishes, so I'm not going to add in any. I'll add in another one after I finish another one, but I'm not really close on anything right now. So I feel really good about this first update. It was about a month, and I did finish off 3 polishes, including Suzi and the 7 Dusseldorfs by OPI, China Glaze for Audrey, and OPI's Petal Faster Suzi. So I'm really excited, and I don't feel like it was a burden to use these polishes. I use them about 2 to 3 times a week, including nail art. So I'm really happy, and I was really excited to film this video because I want to keep using these project polishes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this project polish update, and thank you guys for watching. And Millie says bye. She's sitting directly behind me. So thank you guys as always for watching. Millie says bye, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Bye guys. You got some purrs working, girl? You got some purrs working, girl? You got some purrs working, girl. Oh, next. Oh, look, we match. We're both wearing mint.